Oh my gosh. Hey guys, how are you? This is Lena, and you are watching Lena's Life. Yes, again, I'm live on YouTube, and I am here to share, to talk, to encourage, to uplift, to help. Um, but first of all, I wanted to talk about some personal matters. Yeah, personal. Um, I was in a conversation, and I know this is me just trying to, what's the word, decipher and work through all the things that I've been through and stuff. I just wanted to say that I believe my relationship with Mark was over, a long time ago. And I just hung on, just to make sure that there was an opportunity to break free, basically. I don't know if this fan is going. I still need some because it's hot out here. It's like, what? 88 degrees. 88. And the high's supposed to be 94 today. Yeah. So it's been hotter here than it was in New Mexico all year. Go figure, right? Crazy stuff. So pardon me while I go get some OJ, because I can. And I have that ability to pour myself a cup of orange juice. It is for breakfast anymore. So have me some OJ. And I think I'm gonna make myself some oatmeal. What do you guys think? Should I make some oatmeal? Love me some good, like not hot oatmeal, but just some good fresh oatmeal. It's a yummy food. And I usually make myself like a cup of oatmeal or more. So I just take, I'm not gonna do, this is 10 grain cereal. I'm not gonna do that today. I'm just gonna, make myself some oatmeal. So I'll get like a cup because I'm hungry. Get myself a cup. See? Cup. Man, it's a super simple process, right? Pour it in. Okay. And then I think I'm gonna get some more oatmeal because I like it. It's so yummy. So yummy. And then I am going. Hi, Mander. Nice to see you from Tasmania. And I'm going to use some soy milk. See, soy milk. It's got 6 grams of soy-powered protein for my grown body. Oh, I need to take my Sparrow for the day, but I'm gonna make myself. Wait, should I pour it in a cup? Nah, I'll just kind of pour myself a little bit there. Yep. So we're making breakfast. It's breakfast with Lena time. Breakfast with Lena. So yesterday, my sweet, dear angel friend, Paula, offered me, food, money for food, because, I mean, since my ex took my paycheck, or part of it, for his own use, let me get a knife and a spoon. Knife and spoon. Knife. Knife. And a spoon. And a banana. So, so since my ex, kind of took my part of my check, as we've all kind of understood it to be, I hope you guys don't mind I'm making breakfast as I'm talking here. And it's not even breakfast anymore. It's like 1 o'clock. But Mark and I used to train, and we get back from the gym around this time. So it's kind of like conditioning to do this type thing, to eat at this hour, at this moment. So I'm cut myself banana. I'm just gonna cut it into my oatmeal in slices, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. I just kind of, this banana is a little ripe because it's kind of furry or sticky. I like them when they're a little bit more firm. Good firm banana is always good. So I'd love to show you what I'm doing, but don't have as many hands. So that's done. And one last. Okay. I need a napkin, towel, or something. Let me see. Confined quarters here, but we make it work, right? We make it work. Oh, yeah. I'm done with my paper towel. I have one that I bought at Target. But, all right. Oh, hello. What my dad would say, don't fell. Don't fell. So, I got my oatmeal. I cut my bananas. See? Oh, see? Oh, see? Okay. So, I cut my bananas. And, strawberries, courtesy of my sweet angel friend, Paula Schilling. She was so sweet. She asked me, Lena, would you like money for food and stuff? And I said, sure, and then she's like, well, we're going to be going to Sam's Club, so do you want to join us? And I was like, sure, but I had just finished this 5-hour video. You guys remember it yesterday that I did, the marathon? Somebody suggested that I do a 15-hour marathon. It's like a Twilight Zone thing, I guess. I don't know. Real Twilight Zone marathons. But look at the size of that strawberry. Look at that. Look at that. Is that not a good strawberry? So I'm going to cut this baby up, put it in my oatmeal. And what she did was try to call me, and I was in the shower because I didn't make it to go with her. But she called me while I was in the shower, and she's so sweet. She was going to ask me what I wanted, right? She's going to ask me what I wanted. And instead, I didn't answer the phone because I was obviously showering. And she brought me home a whole thing, 2 pounds of strawberries, a cantaloupe, a bushel of bananas, and another couple pounds of blueberries. So I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I know Paula isn't subscribed to my YouTube channel, but I just wanted to thank her because she is an angel. You know, she knows that I don't have any money right now. And I had actually just run out of blueberries, my frozen ones. So she's like, Tiffany, my trans woman friend that lives here as well. She's like, Lena, I was in my room and she's like, Paula has something for you. She wants you to come downstairs. So I came downstairs and what do you know? She had like this whole thing of fruit. I was like, I gave her a hug. I said, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me, you know, to be able to get, you know, I mean, to be able to have someone care for me like that so that they would actually go to the store and buy me something because they care. It's super sweet. Super sweet. So anyway, this is turning out really nicely. I need to get a bigger bowl. Like when I get my paycheck, I'm gonna get so many things because, you know, I'm just like bare boning it right now. Don't really have a lot of options available to me. But, you know, gosh, I scored a free bike. I've got, you know, I've got a room. I've got, you know, a fan. I've got a fridge. I have so much to be thankful for. It's good to see the old Lena back, but I'm going to have the shower. And if you're still on when I get back, so if not, chat with you later. Okay. See you, Amanda. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Gotta be careful, it's sharp. Okay. So let me see what else. It's turning out. It's turning out. See? Isn't that good food? Isn't that tasty? That's 2 strawberries. Just two out of this basket. Out of this bag. It was like, that's it. Just 2. Oh, it is good. I love fruit, you know? Always have. So now we have blueberries, or blueberries, some people call them blueberries. So I'm just gonna take some of my blueberries, drop them in. Yeah, it is so good. Eating like this is so fun. It's so colorful. There's so many neat fruits out there to cut up and just enjoy, you know, just enjoy. Because this is really what medicine is, right here. Medicine. Not the stuff you buy at the drugstore, not the stuff the doctor prescribes to you. This is American Idol. No, I watched American Idol the other day, and what is it, Maddie Poppy won. I thought she was really good, really very talented. So I think it was a good decision. I think they did they made a good choice. America, you made a good choice. So I'm gonna put this back in the fridge. Be right back. Putting it back in the fridge. Can't wait to get grapes. You know how long it's been since I had grapes? Okay. So I have flaxseed, and it's very good for keeping you regular. And it's got some of those, what are they? What are they called again? I'm trying to remember. Vitamins that we can't, B vitamins? B? B12? Can't remember. Has lots of fiber in it. 70 milligrams of calcium, 230 milligrams of potassium. So 2 milligrams of iron. I'm trying to remember what it has. I can't remember. But I know it's good for me. So I'll just take, you don't need a lot either. Just take a spoonful and drizzle it on there. And that's it. That's it. You really don't need a lot. I mean, it says 4 tablespoons is a serving, but it gets kind of gritty if you eat. Yeah, it's flaxseed. Flaxseed, so good and good for you. Great in oatmeal. Yes, that's right, teen. You know. So I'm gonna go put this back in my fridge and be right back. And I'm back. I'm back again. Can I put my, this is the 10 grain cereal that I use when I cook my oatmeal, just, I don't know if I want coffee today. It's a bit hot, it's a bit hot. So I may just do without coffee because I got my OJ. Cheers. That's good stuff. And that was another gift. Hold on, I need to throw this stuff away. I'm gonna have to get a trash can. I know it. And I am going to get my peanuts. Hopefully next time I'll do salted because unsalted is like a habit, but don't peanuts taste better when they're salted? I think so. I do think so. So far, voila, it's a beautiful, beautiful floating cereal extravaganza. Party in the mouth. So I'm just going to try to mix it because I poured my soy milk. I love soy milk. Have you guys ever had soy milk? I mean, I like it better than regular milk. And I was a regular milk person for a long time. I loved regular milk. Oh, no! See, I'm in tight quarters, so it kind of slivered off. So now I have to I'm sitting on the bed. I don't know what I'll do. I may get a little table so I can prepare food. But yeah, Mo. Sometimes I do peanut butter too, but I don't think I can mix it very well. It's kind of a dry oatmeal. I didn't put any stevia in it, but when you use fruit and stuff like that, especially fresh fruit, your sugar's already there. So, you don't really need to go overboard with adding stuff to it. A distiller costs about $2.50, so it's quite an investment. It pays for itself in a year. So we're not buying gallons of distilled water. It gets rid of the fluoride and other junk that's in tap water. I've heard of it. I mean, there's a particular brand. I think it's like a stainless steel container. I mean, I would be interested. Yeah. So, am I missing something? I have dates and I've been wanting to use them. but I just haven't gotten around to it. I hope they're still good too. Do dates go bad, teen? Do they go bad? No, that's why I don't want to happen. I'm gonna have to check them, but I haven't used them in like a couple weeks, so I hope they didn't get moldy. Because there's two of them that I bought. I should have just bought one. I thought I'd be like eating dates out of season. So yeah. I know my strawberries, it doesn't matter if you put them in the fridge or what. Especially if you clean them off first and they're a little wet. They get moldy, you know. So that's why frozen fruit is really good because it's in the package and it doesn't mold. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit. Don't want to like, yeah, frozen veggies too. Um, I was really, I'm trying to move on. I am. I'm trying to move on from a relationship that I now feel was not that great for me. It must have been something that I feel that, it's like you do something and you are able to grow, but it costs you a lot of pain to get there. I think that's the same way to look at the Mark Angelo Cummings chapter in Linda's life. Mark is a good guy, he really is. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, yeah, team, once you realize what you will and won't stand for, you have to be firm to survive. Yeah. And again, I don't want to come across as disparaging or negative or anything like that, because I really do appreciate what he did for me. To a certain degree. What I don't appreciate is what he did to me. And I know that him and his friends are going to think that I'm being, what's the word? Victim, But I see myself as a survivor. Personally, I'm a survivor. And I've been through a lot. the Mark chapter was a lot. It was a lot. So he said a rebuttal to the 5-hour video that I did the other day, and questioned me about even making it. Who makes 5-hour videos? I have an opinion about that, but I'm not going to say anything. But who does that? Certainly not people that have jobs. Of course, he's only been at work for the last 2 weeks. And it's not that I'm saying he's lazy, because he's not. But why do you have to be so mean? It's like you can do things without calling people out and misgendering them and making them feel like worthless. It's hurtful. It really is. It's hurtful. And I know he's going to use it against me and say, oh, you're pretending like to be a victim and blah, blah, blah. But it's hurtful. So I didn't have the greatest conversation with him this morning. He wants me to remain silent. He's like, I don't talk about you, so why do you talk about me? And I'm like, you do talk about me. You just don't call me by my name anymore because you think that I am a person that you don't respect anymore. So we get into this conversation on text. And his thing is like, I don't want you to talk about me. If you don't talk about me, I won't talk about you. And this tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. So I just wanted to be able to talk to him without being crude, and that wasn't happening. Trying to find this morning. Goes, Lena, are you for real? You've done nothing but talk about me on your videos. You even read our interaction yesterday in Messenger. And he goes, I'm just trying to live my life. And you've done nothing but talk about me on your videos. And then you ask me for money. Well, the whole concept is something that he still doesn't quite understand. Let me paint the picture clearly for you, Mark Angelo Cummings. I, Lena, unfortunately Cummings, I get a disability check from the federal government. It belongs to me. That check has been given to me, not to our marriage, to me, for me to disperse and use as I choose to use, because I have been, since I fell off of a mountain and rolled my car 15 times and broke my neck in 3 places and my back in 1, and my spinal cord got contused, had a contusion, I was able to get disability. Now, regardless of whether you are able to say the right things for me to get it or not. That's not the case. That's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is the fact that this disability check that comes every month to my account was mine. So you had no money. That means that the money that you have now, if it was from my check, was my money. Are we understanding ourselves here? I hope so. So, paying the car, paying the rent, paying the insurance, paying yourself half of my disability is stealing. Stealing. Yeah. So, I admit that I was not unfaithful because I wasn't with you. We're divorced. Technically, we're still separated or whatever. But in my mind, you and I would never work and never did work. So the fact is that you don't have the right to my things. And my things were my check. And it's very inconvenient to be in another state incurring expenses and not to have any money to pay for it. Okay. And that's wrong. Now, I lied to you about being intimate with a guy last week. I did. I admit it. I know I did wrong. But for you to paint me as a skank when I have had maybe 6 relationships intimately in my entire life, and you, I don't know how many, that to me is not fair. You know, it's not fair at all. So I hope he understands what I'm trying to say. So this morning, he calls me on, he texts me and he says, "If you must know, I lost all respect for you, hence why I call you they." As opposed to it, I guess, right? I don't see you as a woman. A woman would not do what you did to me. Well, a man would not do what you did to me. No. And lots of bad things too. I did bad things. I don't know what I did, but apparently I did bad things to him. So, in a marriage relationship, a couple that gets married disclose their financial information with one another. If they had separate accounts, then they work together and come up with a plan, and they share information. That's how it works. We don't have separate accounts. So they're not separate. So when he married me, I should have had access to all the accounts that he had, and we should have together sat down and talked about what we wanted to do, what our financial goals were, what our plans were, how we wanted to deal with things. I mean, does that not make sense to all of you guys? I would think it would. Welcome back, Commander. But He never once let me in on the finances. And he says, I didn't steal. I paid the rent and our bills. Our bills. Our bills became his bills when we separated. And a man who has excellent credit and probably $10,000 or $15,000 in a bank doesn't need to be taking the money of a person who's on disability who has nothing else. But he feels justified. I didn't buy myself anything with that money. And I said, that is a form of abuse. You took money and it wasn't yours. Not giving me money, financial throughout our marriage. I would have to beg him to put $50 into my PayPal. He's like, what do you need it for? I'm like, gee, I don't know. Odds and ends, things that I would want to get. Little monthly memberships or subscriptions for storage space on Google. I don't know. It's not really a big deal, but I still need $2.99 to be debited from the PayPal in order to pay them. Or an online music subscription. So he tells me, you gave me control. And I did a good job with finances. And he did. From what I know, he's not he's a frugal person. So he's not a spender. He doesn't like to shop. He's always on top of the bills. And it's all good. What's not good is not knowing where the money went or where the excess money went. He had a system that he would use in which he would, use his credit card from B of A and pay for things and then pay from the other account. And the reason that he did that was because he would get points. Translates to money. Translates to bonuses. So we used all that time, every time we made a car payment, every time we made any kind of apartment payment, he would use that money in his account, that credit card, have it charged, and then use the money that was coming from my disability, which was in the other bank account, and pay that off and accumulate points. Did he put those points into our account? The money? No. I'm sure that money is sitting in his account right now. I'm sure of it. He said I would pay things off with my credit, then would have to pay it back. So whenever he used the card, he used it, and then he paid it with the disability check. So that tells me he's making bucks. Earning interest. And he says this, you never asked to see it. You could have asked. Really, I could have asked. You could have been honest. You could have been honest about a lot of things, but you weren't. And he's thinking that I'm a skank for being with a guy last week. He said, that account was never ours, it's mine. So you didn't need to know anything about it. Again, we We're married as a man and a wife couple. That's what the law says. That's what the license says. That's what it is. But he sees things differently. I could have asked. It's like, you couldn't just be honest and open with me about it? So I told him, I said, you stole and you don't still think that you did anything. What's wrong with this picture? So then he tosses this, go find your dream guy. And I said, it's not about having a guy, which is something that I've always wanted to have in my life, a good guy. But it's about getting my life back. And the more I process what's happened to me, the more I see what took place in my life, the more I realize how messed up the situation I got myself into with this person, who's really the true narcissist in this whole thing. And probably has some type of borderline personality disorder. That's just the truth. So we went back and forth, back and forth. If I was you, I would try and get him out of your life since you can't, as he's playing with your mind. Oh yeah, Amanda, it's very, very true, very apparent. He's like, he comments about his mother seeing me and judging me and saying, oh, in Spanish, that person is going to want dick, so watch out. Well, to be honest with you, I would never have even contemplated being with anybody or getting whatever at all. That was never my intention. That was never my goal. I never wanted ever to cheat on Mark, and I don't believe I did. I believe I acted in a way that, was fine, because ain't no way in hell that I'm going to be put back into that prison that he placed me in. No way in hell. So as far as I was concerned, as soon as I left Silver City, I was a free woman. And his mom, I don't know why he even mentioned it. His mom, she has a sordid past of her own with her sexual preference, not preference, but prowess in the past. And she has no right to say anything about me. None. None. But she did. Oh, I forgot apples. I was going to put apples in here. That's okay. So, it's tit for tat. and he says he doesn't want to talk about me. And I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about Mark Angelo Cummings until I get it all cleared out of my system with all the things that's happened with me and to me because of him. So I'm not signing on to his, you don't say this and I won't say that. Mm-mm. And then he just gets very, very, very disrespectful. And spins things in ways that it boggles the mind. As if he didn't do anything wrong. Just stealing money from me this month was pretty wrong. Honestly, Mark, to be honest with you, I could put you in jail for what you did to me today, this month. Stealing from a disabled person is a felony under federal law. So I'm not going to press charges, but do understand that what you did was not only illegal, it was unethical, and it was wrong. And if you can, please send me the money. So I told him, I just realized now how much you fucked with me, how much you messed with my mind. And he's like, I did not. And I'm like, yeah. And had my head spinning. You did. And he goes, dear God, you are so paranoid. Again, spinning it around as if doesn't want to take accountability or any kind of responsibility for what happened. He goes, I just loved you. Others saw it. I said, others saw it. Yeah, they did. They saw that you were controlling me. If you look at any of my videos from the past, before I met Mark, I was a much more confident trans woman. I was very happy, conflicted and troubled for my children, but on the front of just living my life, happy. So I told him, I said, there's lots of people that told me about you and what you did and how you did things. People see it. Countless have told me. I read an account just yesterday, and there's several more that I haven't even shared. The person, Leanne, who put us together and had us meet, we talked for 2 hours about similar things. And I said, I'm not paranoid. I'm not. And I'm not a victim. I'm not. So he goes, I could care less what people think. They're just yanking your chain. It's like he's all into this whole, giving out all the information about his private life. And yet he doesn't care about other people's opinions. So I told him, I said, you were emotionally abusive. Really, you are. He goes, whatever. Let's just cut the cord, please. He goes, you were verbally abusive. And you know what? I was pissed off so many times with this man. He frustrated me to the nth degree, like no other human I have ever encountered. Okay? And yes, I freely use the FU bomb all the time with him because he drove me bananas. Bananas. So he thinks I'm talking about him because I love him and I miss him and I don't want to let him go. And it's like, dude, no. No. No, 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 no. There was love there. You know, he just spins it like it's something that. So he says, so let's just both stop. And I go, no, I don't want to stop. I want to talk about it because it affected me greatly and really fucked me up royally. And I told him, I said, I only say stuff because you say it first and then I defend myself. That's how it's, I said, that's how it's always been. It's always been that way with this guy. Always. From day one. And he goes, how much more can you say? You sound like a broken record. Well, I'll say it until I get some kind of closure to it, maybe. And so that he doesn't get away with painting himself as this innocent victim, nurturing Mother Teresa type that wants to help people and goes all out of his way. It's like when he helps, it's like at a cost. You know, for me, it was the cost of my identity and my, understanding of who I was. So he goes, talk about your new life. Leave your old one behind. And he would say that about my children too. He's like, well, if you're going to be mine, then Lena doesn't have any kids. So you have a new life. So I go, look, Mark, the mental gymnastics that you played on me made me become like mentally destroyed. It was hard. And I said that, and he goes, nothing to see here, folks. And I'm like, damn, you don't even realize it. And I go, I have to rebuild my self-esteem. Do you know why I go to the mall? Yeah, Lena doesn't have any kids. And I ended up saying that on my last email to my ex-wife because that's what I felt that I needed to say for closure. She hasn't contacted me since February of this year because I said that. she was giving me information about, because the lawyers or the settlement, the divorce settlement states that, she needs to let me know what's going on with the children. Well, I was like, I don't have any kids. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. No kids. So he goes, you were already mentally destroyed. You came that way. I tried to fix you. And I go, bullshit. I was hurting, but I was not destroyed like you've made me. I do have kids. Of course I have kids. I'll always have kids. I love my kids. My kids mean the world to me. It burns me that I can't see them. It blows me up that I can't hug them. It destroys me that I can't see them. It's awful. It's like, if there is a hell, putting a parent who had children in a position where they can't be a parent anymore, although the kids are walking and breathing and living and loving life, that's hell. And Mark, you would never understand that because you never had any kids. So you don't know what that's like. Don't have a clue. No compassion or empathy. So he goes, when you were with him, did you have time just by yourself or not? No. Not 1 second. Hey, Rhonda. Thanks for joining all of us here on my channel. Just talking about my recent text with Mark Angelo Cummings. I don't know what that really means. I don't know. I guess the best person to ask is that when Landon comes back, when Landon comes back on, you ask him if I was manly or whatever. I was quiet, reserved. I wasn't flamboyant though. No, I wasn't flamboyant. I wasn't like your gay twink. I was, it's not like they could go, oh, look it's that guy and he's a fag. I wasn't in the gay community. I wasn't really, that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe because I was more, yeah. Mm-hmm. And really laid back. I'm from California. The land of nuts, fruits, and flakes, they say, right? So I love to spend time outside in nature. I love to play music. I love to do things creatively. And yeah, I was non-combative. I didn't really like to lead. I didn't really like to take charge and tell people what to do. That wasn't me. But I wasn't a flamboyant, fairy flitting around, It wasn't that. So again, throws me into this category of always the victim. Lena's always the victim. Never like is Lena ever not the victim. Always you're, blah, 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 blah. I was an awesome parent. I took my kids everywhere with me. We had one child, and I remember it was a Beth Moore Bible study that was in New Orleans. And I was driving down with Cheryl, and the new baby, little Timothy, was 6 months old. Or was he 6 months? Yeah, I think he was 6 months. It was like 1999, I think, or thereabouts. And we're driving down, and I get a call that there's going to be a hurricane heading towards New Orleans. And it never did head there. Eventually Katrina did, but another hurricane warning, and they canceled the shoot. Well, we were already packed up and ready to go. And so I, being as spontaneous as I am, I said, hey, let's just make it a vacation. So we headed up and visited, what was it? We surprised her brother, her youngest brother, who was going to University of South Dakota and we just like surprised him. He was married with his high school sweetheart, and we had a great time. And then we went out to Mount Rushmore, and then we went back out to Painesville, where her parents live, and we spent time with them, and we just had a good time. It was, and I did that all the time. I mean, as the kids grew older, more kids were added. I would take my children with me on the road. And it was fun. I'm going to have to go and get on my way to get work and love. And thinking of you, so we'll chat next time. All right, Amanda. And we've got to catch up on a private conversation. So soon, okay? Soon. Now it's soon. So we have a date on it. Soon. And that goes for anybody like Rhonda, like Teen. If you guys want to talk to me on the phone or personal chat, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. That would be really cool. So just, you can text me your phone number or whatever, and, we can do that. So, so anyway, I was the person that always took my kids on the road, and the people with the Southern Baptist Convention that I worked with for like 20 years as a freelancer, they always knew that I was bringing my family with me, and Cheryl would like have a great time just finding parks and places to go, and, getting the lay of the land and finding playgrounds and activities, and it was fun. I didn't ignore them. I loved them. I loved doing nice things for them. I loved having fun with them. I loved showing them new things. It was always exciting. And I know that my children eventually will realize that I'm not a bad person. I think my son is coming around to understanding, when he told me, Dad, I don't see you as a bad person. You always gave me your time and your love and attention. And you were a good dad. So, yeah, I had a good time. I would still hit the ball to them if they let me. Hit them fly balls and they'd catch them. It was fun. It was fun. I miss it. I do. So Mark continues and goes, you are always going to be a victim. And I go, sorry, pardon the French. Fuck you. This is not about being a victim. This is American Idol. No, this is about being a survivor. A survivor. Surviving Mark Angelo Cummings and his MK Ultra program of tranny control. Because I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Jessica is nowhere, anywhere near social media anymore. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just because Jessica doesn't want to be a part of it? No, I believe Jessica's self-esteem was so brought down and destroyed by this person that she no longer has the confidence anymore. You know, I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm going to let myself rebuild, grow, become the woman that I am, and go and live my life. You know. So he continues going, yeah, I know, Rhonda. He's always acting like he's the victim. And he goes, and I said, shit, yeah, you messed with me, you stole from me, and you took away my self-esteem and maybe questioned my identity. And he goes, oh, you mess with me. You don't even know, but I don't complain. And you know what? This is where it comes down to it. I believe, and this is my personal opinion. I don't know if anybody is going to agree with me or not. But here it is. You guys ready? This is my assessment. You guys ready? Because I really feel that this is what it is. Mark / Maritza played in the testosterone pool too long while she was bodybuilding and got way more than she bargained for. She never had gender dysphoria. And she changed. Her voice changed. Body hair grew. Hair fell out. Voice dropped. Masculinity arose. And I don't think they wanted that. I don't think she wanted that. I think that Mark Angelo Cummings, this is my own personal opinion, is a bull dyke in a beard. Is a lesbian who regrets what took place in her body. And now that it can't be reversed, she's bitter. And she fell in love with Paul, the person that I embody still to this day, because I cannot separate myself from who I am. You know, I mean, I am Lena, I am Paul, I am me, right? So in my past, I lived as Paul. In my present, I present and live as Lena. But I don't separate the two from one from the other. Like when I saw my son I still, you know, I mean, I'm just one person. I'm not two people. You know, Mark compartmentalizes Mark and Maritza. Mark takes Mark out. Mark puts Maritza away, and vice versa, and becomes this ultra Cuban version of some debonair, you know, Latino lover. And then over here is a person who's really nurturing, kind, and wants to help people, you know, but the two are in conflict with each other. They can't live together. They're always like this, always apart. Right now, Mark's in his Mark mode, you know, but he loved Paul. He didn't love Lena. And Lena is my present, and Lena is my future. And he wanted it back because he fell in love with a male body individual. And there would have been nothing better in his life than to retrace his steps and to become Maritza again and to be welcomed back into womanhood and to become a mother to my children, a stepmom. He wanted that. That is why he chose to detransition. Not for me. He tried to detransition 4 times. I did it twice. He did it 4 times. First time, May 2015. Only 3 months into our relationship. He starts wanting to identify and stop taking testosterone. He cuts his hair and, you know, or cuts his beard. And, you know, before we got married, it was like, what kind of ceremony is it going to be? Is it going to be a two-spirit, something, and then he stops the detransition, and then in November 2015, he starts in earnest again. We take pictures as Lena and Maritza, and we identify as a lesbian couple or whatever, right? So he does this in the hopes that eventually I would change my mind and go back to being Paul, okay? But what he didn't understand was that I had no desire to do that because I do suffer with gender dysphoria, and I hate that expression of masculinity. That's me. So when we were moving from Silver City the first time, moved to Fort Lauderdale, he was Maritza. We were eating at, I don't know if you guys remember, we were eating at the buffet at the casino, and, you know, 2 girls in a buffet, blah, blah, blah. And we arrive in Fort Lauderdale, and lo and behold, we have problems trying to find a place to stay. We try to find a place to stay, and we don't know where we're going to go. We ask her mom, absolutely not. She hates my guts. She thinks I'm the worst thing since cancer. And I'm Puerto Rican, so Cubans hate Puerto Ricans. And then her dad, his dad, says that he has problems with his pipes and he doesn't want to mess with them, so he says no. So we're left kind of hanging, right? And at that point, I was crying out for Mark to come back because Mark would take the situation in his hands. He would control it and man up. And sure enough, we got an apartment as Mark and Lena. And he stopped detransitioning. And throughout that summer, everything was cool. And then I hit my whole guilt, condemnation shit from Christianity. I saw a picture of my boys at the school that my son was going to and my girl standing in front of of the sign. And I've been there. That's my wife's her alma mater. So I get overcome with guilt and sensation of like loss that I say, dear God, if anyone should have been taking that picture, it should have been me. I'm the picture taking person. I mean, I travel with my kids everywhere. And all because I'm trans, now I miss out on all this excitement in the lives of my children. So I'm sitting there listening to a Christian, singer, songwriter, Spanish worship music. His name is Jesus Adrian Romero. And I was just overcome with guilt. And I said, God, I'm so sorry. Help me. Deliver me. I've asked you to many times. So there I am kneeling in front of this big projection screen. Music's playing. The environment is ripe for, come back to Jesus. So I did. And I reclaimed my Christianity at that point. I was very much broken. And I led Maritza in a sinner's prayer, and we sat in front of the screen, and Maritza gave her life to Jesus Christ at that moment. After that, we met with some people. We did that interview for Spanish CNN and embarrassed the crap out of them because they thought we were gonna come as Mark and Lena, and here we are, Paul and Maritza, and it was just this big mess. And got all the accolades in the Christian community. Spanish people, the Latin American community was like, "Ay, gloria a Dios, hermano. Praise God, brother. We're so happy. Son valientes. You're so valiant and strong and courageous." And I was thinking in my head, I made that video about cleaning up my girl stuff, and I went to go see a ball game with Maritza. That was what Maritza wanted. She wanted to go back to being a normal female. And I, as I've always been, was conflicted. So at that time, I was strong enough to think that I could do it. So I made the video and joked around and did whatever, cut my hair, blah, blah, blah. Went to the ball game, visited her sister, Yvette, who once she heard that Mark was Christian, she's just like, "What the hell? Are you crazy?" And she just went got all mad at Maritza. And then we got baptized in October of that year. And I was thinking, God, here we go again, back into my box. I've been out of it for a few years now. Now I have to go back in it again. So we went to Calvary Chapel in Fort Lauderdale. We met with people, told them about our story. They referred us to the LGBT part of their ministry, and they talked to us. It was all great, Welcome back to the family of God. Maritza loved the worship there. but still got stares and looks. And was like, oh wow, well this is how a MTF must feel like, because you know I'm actually a female, but I look like an MTF now. I look like you would, Paul. And we did laser stuff and stuff on his back and on his face. And I just wasn't buying it because I knew I couldn't do it. There was no way I was going to follow through with it. So in late October, just the same week that we got baptized, I was like, Mark, I can't live as Paul. It's not going to happen. Devastated my kids again because they thought Daddy was coming back. Then started to talk to me. And it all fell apart with my kids again. And it probably became a bigger wound because there I was wanting to come back into their lives, and you know, it wasn't happening. So that fall, I can't see myself living as a man either. I mean, shit. Can't. I have not been on hormones at all. I'm looking forward to getting back on. But I haven't been on hormones since 2016 or 17, July, almost a year. I didn't like grow a ton of body hair back on my face and my arms didn't get all bulked out. I mean, you know, I did what I did, and I did it for a reason. And I don't regret it. And I don't live in any transition regret zone. And I do suffer from gender dysphoria. And I don't like not being able to be a woman completely. I don't. So Mark stopped detransitioning. He says he did it for me because I didn't want to do it. And he's always followed my lead or something like that. But the honest truth is that Mark wanted normalcy. He wanted his mother, her mother, to accept Maritza back. You know? And her mom just, you know, thinks that Maritza can get a hair transplant, can do all this stuff, and, you know, that she can go back to being a woman. But when you play in the testosterone pool as long as she did, there ain't no coming back. And if you didn't realize that, like he says, he didn't even understand the concept that they were going to lose their voice. Apparently, she sang like Barbra Streisand. Barbra Streisand. Wow. Must have been an incredible voice. Incredible. Would have been an amazing thing to hear. And you know, when some of those songs play, I can see that look in Mark's eye come out, and It's like reminiscing, you know, songs like Dancing Queen. Maritza was a dancer and loved to like party, have a good time as what? A lesbian. So it's easy for Mark to discriminate me, you know. So I told him, I said, my check, my disability check, fed you for the whole time we were together. He said, you could have left anytime you wanted to. And I said, no, I could not, Mark. He goes, so what? You didn't want me to work. And I said, I did. I wanted a moment of time to myself. Moment of time. You did not. You were my job. I said, I was your job? So he goes, listen, round and round we go. Let's just stop, right? Let's just stop. And I told him, I said, I will say your name, Mark, whenever I want to on my channel until I figure out exactly, what this all means and how it all works. So he goes, move on. Or is it that you can't? Are you still in love with me? I go, no, I'm realizing what took place. I mean, blinders, no blinders. Blinders, no blinders. I mean, blinders, no blinders, right? That's what it was for me. So he goes, that's all that it shows for everybody else, that you can't get over me. And it's like, holy shit, Sherlock. Ego. Mark Angigo Cummings. Not Angelo, it's Angigo. He goes, it's as clear as day. I'm like, clear as day? Did I not say blinders, no blinders? That's as clear as day. I said, you just fucked with me for a very long time. He goes, oh, please, drama queen. And I said, that's why I will still continue to talk about you. The very reason you just gave. Right there, right in front of everybody's eyes. The trans woman need to be the battered wife, he tells. Does that not sound like a very hateful, rad femme lesbian? I don't know. I don't know. I said, that's BS. I would not care to be seen as the battered wife. I said, you, regardless of how you see me, you battered a human being out of their self-worth. Do you understand that? Do you know what that is? Is that something that you can understand? A battered human being. So I said, bullshit, lesbo Marco. He goes, go ahead. Talking all you want. People care, getting tired of your drama. Well, I hope you guys aren't tired of my telling the truth, because it is no drama to live what I did with the kind of person that I lived with for 3 fucking years, controlling every aspect of my life, telling me how many peanuts I could eat, if I could have orange juice, what was a ripe grape or apple, how to cut a pear. Let me see, how much oatmeal one should put in their body. Not to fuss about your face because you're never going to be a woman. So why bother with the facial hair? Let me see. You're so materialistic, even though you don't have a card to buy a damn thing. Let me see. Do you guys get the picture here? 3.5 years of that. Too long. Too long. And not worth my healing. I would rather have stayed in the hospital in El Paso at a convalescent hospital by myself and gotten my life back together than to have stayed with that egocentrical, bull dyke lesbian, trans-hating trans man. It's like an irony. So he goes, better than being an AGP narcissist. And I said, fuck you. He goes, no, fuck you. And I said, you're the narcissist, bitch. And then he calls me a maricon, which is a gay man. See, Mark has never respected my trans identity. I don't think he respects anyone's trans identity. If you saw that video that he made slamming trans people left and right, in which he had to apologize, 1, for calling me an it, and 2, for slandering trans women everywhere. He's just an angry, rad femme, bull dyke, trans-hating lesbian with a beard. And he goes, you, and again, it's just knocking people down, right? Their self-esteem, their self-worth, their self-identity. You don't have an ounce of woman in you, he says to me. And then he told me before he dropped me off at the place to catch a shuttle. Now, who drops people off to catch a shuttle instead of taking them to the airport? I don't know. But I said, he told me, I've never really liked men or man part. I've exclusively been with women, and just 3 trans women, and whoever else he had flings with. Jenny Taylor, somebody else, trans women. He's been with men, he's been with trans people, he's been with lots of women. So, he keeps calling me a maricon, and then he calls me a cross-dressing fool. I called him a lesbian. I think he likes it. I think he misses it. I think he wishes he was still identifying as a lesbian. And then he goes, at least I can admit you are a closeted gay man with a fetish. That is what Mark Angelo thinks of all trans women. Yeah. A person who's never had gender dysphoria, a person who played in the testosterone pool for way too long as a bodybuilder, is regretful of what happened to them. So it just kept on going back into this stupid whole maricon, lesbiana thing. And then he keeps going, whole thing about, you're still in love with me or else you won't let go. It's like, Mark, I was in love with you. My heart was yours. I also had a problem not giving it all to you because I have children. And you wanted me to either not have memory with children or for you to become the fairy godmother of step godmother of my children. And neither of those options, you and I both know, were ever going to work. So his ego makes him think that I miss him. Do I look like I miss Mark Angelo Cummings or Ego Cummings? Does this face show an ounce of fond, desire to want to be back with him? No. No. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with all today, this morning. And this person, Mark, thinks that I'm talking about him because I miss him. And I'm not. You're still in love with me. No. Nope. I mean, what do you guys think? You guys think I'm still in love with Mark? I mean, I don't mind being honest. Hot. It's hot in here. Trying to find a fan. Maybe I'll bring this fan a little higher. Turn it so that it gets on me. What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't believe so. I really don't. Because how can I miss something that I despise? I didn't despise him. I despise what he did to me. So anyway, guess that's all I got. So, I guess I'll go. I had to wrap this one up. I was thinking maybe go for a bike ride or like a leisurely bike ride. I think Paula's gonna make some kind of a roast or something. So bye bye veganism. And a baked potato. Oh, she made me a burger yesterday evening. It was really cool. She texts me and says, she probably texts me something right now. Let's see. No, she doesn't. Sometimes she does. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm so excited to share with you more positive things, more exciting things than what I did today. But it's all part of it, of my healing. It's all part of realizing, it's like I'm in therapy or something for myself. So thank you so much. And I will see you maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I think there's a get together with a trans woman in North Minneapolis tomorrow. So we're gonna hang out at her place, and I'll probably see people that hate my guts, but I'll have to work on trying to apologize and win them back somehow, win their trust back. So see you guys later.